Encompass for Success has a gradebook tool available for teachers to document and track evidence of student learning and is compliant with Growing Success. This video will show you how to create an assessment using the gradebook tool within Encompass. To create an assessment, you will first need to open up the gradebook tool by clicking on the word Gradebook along the top black ribbon. You will know you're in the gradebook area of Encompass as the logo in the upper left-hand corner will change. If you teach more than one class, ensure that the class you want to create an assessment for is selected. All of your classes will be listed underneath the blue Classes ribbon along the left-hand side. By default, the first class in your list gets launched and is indicated along this gray ribbon at the top. Next, you will look under the red assessment ribbon and click on the word Assessments. Then you will click on the green button in the middle called Create New Teacher Assessment. This will launch you into an assessment wizard to set up the assessment. In the configuration area, you'll need to fill in the following information about the assessment that you're creating, such as the name, a description, a date, whether or not the assessment was to be handed in or not. You will also have an option to share the template with either the school, the board, or for just yourself. Next, you'll need to provide a weighting of the assessment. If this was a diagnostic assessment, which will not be used in the term mark calculation, select Assessment as Learning, where the assessment will be weighted as 0. If the assessment will be included in their calculated term mark, you can weight the assessment along the scale provided between 1 and 5. Assessments weighted as 5 will be worth 5 times as much as assessments weighted as 1. You can also indicate the type of evaluation from the pull-down menu. Note that many different product types are listed, including conversations and observations. If you teach in the elementary panel, you can also select the grade, the report period, as well as the subject and strand. Next, you'll need to indicate which categories you will be evaluating by checking on the appropriate box. For example, in this diagnostic quiz, I might only be evaluating knowledge and communication, so I only want to select those 2 category names. As well, you'll want to indicate whether or not you will be assessing these categories using levels or using points. You can indicate the maximum number of points that you've used for the assessment. When you are finished entering in the information on the configuration page, click on the blue Save button at the bottom corner. You will then be brought to the achievement chart area where you can select appropriate level descriptors for each category. So you can just check off which ones that you would like to use. When you are finished, click on Next. The next area is the overall expectations page, and you can indicate which overall expectations or specific expectations that you're addressing in this assessment. Gradebook will also keep a running tally in these numbers in bubbles behind each of the expectations, and it counts the number of times you've assessed that expectation throughout the year. When you are finished, click on Next. Also, notice that if you are teaching a locally developed course, you can use the green Custom Expectation button to create your own custom expectations. Now you'll be entered into the mark entry page where you can enter in the achievement level based on the criteria you have set up for this assessment. To do so, you can either use the drop-down menu. For the knowledge category, I indicated level, so I can use the drop-down menu, or you can simply type in the level using the following strategy. If you'd like to enter in a 3-, you would tap the number 3 key once. For a level 3, you would tap the number 3 key twice. To enter in a 3+, you would tap the number 3 key 3 times. To enter in the next level of achievement for that student, you can press Tab, or if you would like to enter in the next level of achievement for the same category for the student underneath, simply press Enter. And you can quickly enter in the assessment information for this class. To enter in marks, simply type in the number of points. Depending on how you set up the assessment on the configuration page, you will also see additional columns before this marks area. If there will be no mark assigned to the student for this particular assessment, you can check on this no mark box. When you do so, you eliminate the ability to enter in achievement data. If you indicated that the assessment was to be handed in, you can indicate that the assessment was not handed in using the next box. Again, when this assessment was not handed in, you eliminate the ability to enter in assessment data. You can also indicate if the student took multiple attempts to demonstrate their learning for this particular assessment by checking on that box. You can also add a comment specific to any student about this assessment. So for example, if a student needed multiple attempts, you could comment about the multiple attempts and perhaps the intervention strategies that happened between those assessments. You can also attach a file for evaluation purposes by using the file icon in the last column of this table. When you click on the file icon, you can create a folder. Here you can see I've created a folder called Math. And to add a file, simply drag and drop the file or click on the box and it will open up an area where you can add the image or file. When you're finished, simply X out of this area. Lastly, you can also assess any number of the learning skills by simply using the drop-down menu and pressing Tab, or by just typing in the E, G, S, or N. When you're finished, click on Next. If you encounter any problems or have any questions about features within Encompass for Success, please contact the help desk.